Okay, we all set? Thank you, George. Okay, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Springfield City Hall. Today is Monday, October 20th. Time is 6:50. We do have an opportunity for public speak out this evening. We have one registered speaker, Mr. Stephen Howard. Mr. Howard, if you wouldn't mind coming forward, we'll give you your allotted 3 minutes, and then we have our regularly scheduled meeting at 7 o'clock. Mr. Howard, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, Mr. President. Good evening, councillors. Good evening, everyone. Too bad I can't get my 3 minutes that I lost the last speak out, since there was a problem beyond our control. But I appreciated the opportunity to speak. What I'd like to talk about is education here in Springfield. Even though we don't have any children or grandchildren attending schools here, I would like to request that the school curriculum include African studies, and I'm not just talking about African American studies, because then you're starting to talk about the 15th century and moving forward. I'm talking about, the people in Springfield who are Muslims. The majority of those Muslim nations are on the African continent or in Asia. The Hebrew community, the Jewish community, they originate on the continent of Africa. For those Christians, when you read the Bible, where what they call the Garden of Eden, that is found in Iraq, which is on the African continent, even though some people may not recognize that. And I'm sure if I was to ask questions of the counselors or anyone in this room, when they were in elementary school, primary school, where they taught that the oldest known physician is a gentleman by the name of Imhotep, and he is one of the builders of one of the step pyramids at Giza. How many people know, for example, that the bridle, the horseshoe, the saddle, and even the disc brakes that more or less secured those carriages, that disc brakes and those other things were invented by us? There's a lot of information that we need to put into the curricula of the Springfield schools, not just for African ancestry, but also for everyone who attends a school. Because it's one thing to teach someone to love themselves, but then by doing so, you also want others to respect you for what you've been able to accomplish. The escalator, the elevator, the helicopter, the farming. A lot of the people who were taken out of Africa, they were brought here and in Europe mainly for their skills, because they had agricultural skills that the Europeans and the people who took this land from the indigenous people, the Native Americans, they didn't have. And they actually brought us here to do the work. We actually built this nation. We're the ones that participated in the building of the railroads, along with the Chinese, and some people may be aware of what the Chinese went through at that time. There's a young woman, there's a black woman who, let me know when I'm out of time, sir.
We've got time. You can have another couple minutes.
There's a black woman, and I don't want to start naming because I would run out of names, I'll run out of inventions, who basically came up with a concept of what we call today AI. And this is going back into the 1950s. Now, AI is so prominent today, but how many of our children going to school know this or understand this? How many of the teachers even know this? So how can you teach what you don't know? And I would really like to see some drastic changes in the educational system, especially as it comes to African history And I'm not just talking about the enslavement of the African people. I'm talking about the thousands of years that we have in history. There are African warheads that were found here on this continent, in Mexico and other places in Latin and South America. How did those African stoneheads get there? Are you going to tell me that people who weren't Africans were the ones who carved these stones? Why? Why wouldn't they carve it in their own image? Why would they carve it in the image of African people? There's so much history that we have after our, a lot of inventions that were made by African Americans were invented either during slavery or following slavery without being educated, without having college degrees. So if we could do these things without an education to change the world, why is it that our school system is not teaching this in school? Why are we telling, putting our children to bed with Alice in Wonderland and Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall instead of talking about the greatness of our culture? And if we don't teach this across the board, then people are going to look at us like, oh, yeah, Every time we establish what is known as Black Wall Streets, do you know how many Black Wall Streets were established? Some people don't even know what I'm talking about when I say Black Wall Street. You know how many Black Wall Streets were destroyed because of envy of the people who didn't like Africans or black people in this country aspiring to have a whole area that they have businesses, they had banks, they had hospitals, you name it. And the people who wanted to, just imagine, this nation went to war so that black people in this country could remain enslaved? They went and killed their own people just to keep us enslaved? When we were doing the work that they should have been paid to do, but we weren't getting paid to do it? What I'd like to do, Mr. President, and I appreciate the extra time, is please, I don't know if you need to form a committee. There may be a committee right now that works with the school committee, but I think the City Council needs to have a committee that basically focuses on what I'm talking about. I'll be happy to be a part of that, and I thank you for the time, Mr. President. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. Okay, and we do not have any more residents scheduled for public speak out tonight, so that will conclude our public speak out. Council will stand in recess for 3 minutes, and we'd ask those participating online to join the link for the full meeting. Thank you.
Recording in progress.
Okay, thank you, Josue. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to call the meeting to order. Tonight is Monday, October 20th. The time is 7 p.m. We did have some technical issues earlier today due to national issues affecting the internet, but thanks to our focus team, they were able to get that sorted out for us. So counselors participating remotely, thank you for joining. Madam Clerk, can we please start by calling the roll?
Counselor Curran.
Present.
Present. Counselor Allen.
Present.
Present. Counselor Govan.
Present.
Present. Counselor Walsh.
Present.
Present. Counselor Edwards.
Present.
Present. Counselor Davila. Absent. Counselor Brown. Absent. Counselor Whitfield. Absent. Counselor Delgado.
Present.
Oh,
Present.
Sorry.
Present. Counselor Whitfield. Present. Counselor Delgado. Counselor Santinello.
Present.
Present. Counselor Click Bruce.
Present.
Present. Counselor Perez.
Present.
Present. Counselor Fenton.
Present. Will the council and our guests please rise for a moment of silence? Tonight's moment of silence is dedicated in honor of the late mother of Juan Latorre, who was a volunteer for the Springfield Pilot Committee, just lost his mother a couple of days ago. Councilor Click Bruce. Okay, and Councilor Click Bruce has also asked that we honor DJ Kevin Spiley with this moment of silence this evening. Thank you very much. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you, councilors. Are there any reports of committee this evening? Okay. Seeing no reports of committee, Madam Clerk, please call the first item.
The first item is for a special permit for mixed-use commercial redevelopment of an existing structure at 113 State Street.
Okay, members of the public, the City Council is now sitting as quasi-judicial special permit granting authority consistent with the Massachusetts Zoning Act, Chapter 40A, and the rules and orders of the Springfield City Council. Applicants will be offered an opportunity for up to 20 minutes to present their case. By no means obligated to take all of that time this evening. If there are opponents to the case, they'll be offered a rebuttal period, and thereafter we'll offer 10-minute response periods for each party if there are rebuttals to be offered. So with that, is there anyone here this evening to speak on behalf of the petitioner?
Yes, my name is Carol Dooney. I am
Okay.
Director of Construction for McCaffrey.
Okay, Carol,
And
before you and Julian get started, I just want to inform members of the council, it's normally our practice that we would have special permit applicants before us this evening, and I want to just acknowledge that these applicants in particular traveled a great distance to be with us at a prior hearing meeting, and due to a clerical error on the city's side, the notices had not been properly sent out. So we needed to renotice them for this meeting. And as an acknowledgement of that, these parties asked if they could participate remotely tonight due to the distant geographic nature of their locations. And I told them that we would be willing to make that accommodation because they had traveled here from so far last time and were not able to be heard. So just before they speak, I want everyone to have the context that they did ask for that accommodation, and I encouraged them to participate remotely. So with that, Carol, Julian, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourselves, stating your name and addresses for the record, we would love to hear from you about this petition.
Yes, thank you. My name is Carol Dooney, and we did want to be present. It's a beautiful room. I'm with McCaffrey Interests. I'm head of construction and development on this side. Our address is 176 North Racine in Chicago.
And good evening, and we appreciate the ability to do this remotely. So my name is Julian Looney. I'm with the architectural group We're in Washington, D.C., 1144 3rd Street in Washington, and we represent the architects for McCaffrey Interest.
Okay, can you tell us a little bit about the special permit you're seeking this evening?
Julian, go ahead.
So this project is in Springfield, Massachusetts, right there on Main Street and State. Series of existing buildings that currently office and commercial space. We look to adaptively reuse the buildings and turn them into residential. Approximately 150,000 square feet of area on a site that's about 32,000 square feet. So a very prominent site in Springfield. We feel that this could be sort of a catalyst to other sites downtown. We're looking to add residential and also have parking in the rear on the Willow Street garage. We feel that this is going to be a project that will attract the right kind of people to downtown. So we're very excited. We are at about 111 apartments right now with our current design. There is an addition to the Colonial Building, which is just on the other side of Stockbridge. So Stockbridge kind of goes right in between these two buildings. And we are looking to create a synergy between the Clock Tower building and the Colonial building, both historic buildings. And we've already sort of filed for our tax credit. So this is a tax credit job. And we're being very sensitive to the historic character and nature of this project. But at the same time, there are some new elements that you'll see tonight that will add some vibrance to the project as you enter into the building and residents come home for the evening. There will be a beautiful sort of entry feature to create that synergy on Stockbridge, something that we feel Stockbridge is needed on that street, sort of some vibrance and a well-lit experience. So that's something we're excited to bring to the project. Really, that's the gist of it. It's a residential project in nature, but there will be commercial on the ground floor, and we feel that we can attract strong retailers, food and beverage, mom and pop type retailers to the ground floor. So that is something that we're focused on. We feel the retail bays are strong, good ceiling heights, and we will maintain the character that you see now, that historic character that has made those two buildings historic in nature. All of that will remain. Again, the only real differences that you'll see is the entry moments into the building and then the addition to the rear of the Colonial building. So
Okay.
that's an overall synopsis of the project. Carol, if you want to add anything,
Yeah, I
feel
want to
free.
add the understanding that the entries are going to remain sort of in the historic significance that the two buildings have, both facing State and Main, and that we see Stockbridge as a very great opportunity to create this pedestrian environment on the food and beverage level and retail level to sort of activate Main Street and State directly across from the casino and give it a really strong sense of pedestrian placemaking. So we're excited about that.
Thank you very much, Ms. Tooney, Mr. Mooney. Are there anyone else wishing to speak in favor of this application tonight? Say again, is there anyone wishing to speak in favor of this application tonight? Okay, seeing none, that'll close this portion of the hearing. Is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this project this evening? Say again, is there anyone wishing to speak in opposition to this project this evening, in person or online? Okay, seeing none, that'll close this portion of the hearing. Are there any questions from the council for the applicant before we go into deliberations? Councilor Walsh.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I'm glad that they were able to join us on Zoom tonight. Are there renderings for this?
Yes, they are part of our agenda packet.
Okay, well, I was hoping to see some here tonight. I have to say that I'm a member of the Springfield Central Cultural Committee, and that they have a lot of their meetings in the community music school, and I park on Stockbridge Street a lot. So I'd like to know, I'd like to be confident that that is being taken into consideration. I know Eileen McCaffrey is here from the Community Music School, which is such an asset to the city of Springfield. I'd like to know before I vote that they will not have to move and that there are accommodations for them and their population and their students for parking.
Yeah, I'll take that. We are taking a large consideration of the music school. The energy of the children and the parents dropping off before school, after school, the amount of evening activity that's there. That's part of what we're trying to address, is to consider safe pedestrian access for the students and the parents as well. So that is a high priority of part of the programming that we're looking to maintain and support and actually improve, why we do renovations on these buildings. We'll coordinate. I know that the music school, Ms. McCaffrey's already met with our contractor on site. They will also be incredibly sensitive during all the logistics and the opportunities during the construction process. So yes, I want you to have all the confidence in the world that the music school to us is as important as the tenants that we're bringing in.
Thank you, Councilor Walsh. Any other questions from Councilor Perez?
Yes, I was going to ask the question because I'm very sentiment when it comes to the music school. I've been a participant in my late husband. He was a musician and he created just a program like that. And thank you, Councilor Walsh, for asking the question. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Perez. Any other councilors with questions for the applicant? Councilor Allen?
Thanks, Mr. President. Yeah, couple questions. You described. I mean, I like the presentation you gave us. It's short and sweet, but pretty clear. But I just want to follow up with. There's 4 addresses here: 113, 1163, 1155, and 11 to 21 Stockbridge Street. Are those all part of the same project?
So yes, and the way these buildings interface is the city of Springfield through the SRA has a historic district established. The district encompasses 113 Main Street, State Street, which is the corner clock tower building, the 1163 building, which is attached to that building at the corner of Main and Stockbridge, and the Colonial building on Main Street, and the Stockbridge building on Stockbridge. All 4 of those buildings will be, in the next few months, in the historic district and be part of the improvements of this project. I'm sorry, I don't have his.
Sorry,
That's
that was
okay.
my fault. I didn't have
That's
my
okay.
mic on. There's 1 or 2 buildings in the historic district now, but when this is done over the next few months, you hope to have all 4 in there?
Yes, it's in now. We expect to have approval on the expanded historic district by April.
Okay, thank you. And
welcome.
when you introduced this, a little while ago, you said I think you said you were construction manager?
No, I am the head of the development construction division.
Head of the development construction division at your company?
At McCaffrey, who we are the developers of the property.
Okay, great.
Yep.
And so, and the gentleman, the architect, he did a nice presentation on going forward. But I'm just wondering, will you all be in the same roles going forward that you were looking back? Or is there, other roles that are created? How far along is this project in terms of percentage completion?
Sure. Well, let me, so we've been on the project about 6 months now. We started on April 11th with exploratory work and remedial abatement work in the older buildings. while the architect was drawing the design documents. We are now at the construction document phase. We expect those drawings to be submitted for permit to the city sometime by the end of the year. We continue to do sort of small work in remediation and in restoration. As you know, we got the clock operating and functional on Friday night. So we're very pleased to have been able to execute on that. The construction is due to start spring of next year. Sometime we have to wait till the historic district is done. So we're thinking in spring of next year for a construction start date. Consigli Construction's been doing most of our pre-construction work. I will be on the project through the end. Julian will probably be on the project through the end, plus our teams of people. We feel really confident about the quality of the documents that Antunovich is producing for us. They have a lot of experience with McCaffrey interests and a lot of experience in multifamily. Our retail section on the first floor, our retail leasing division has great ideas for those spaces. And as Julian pointed out, they were always retail spaces and they will go back to being retail spaces.
And what is thank you, that's good info. What is the percentage of affordable multifamily to market-based? Is there any market rate? Could you just give a little snapshot of it?
Most of the units are market rate units. We have studies from both Elm Street units as well as the Stockbridge apartment buildings, and are basing our costs for rental on those same markets. So the majority of the units are market based. There's not a requirement here for affordable housing, but these are market rate apartments for this area.
Okay. I'll just ask one more question so I don't dominate this thing.
No, I'm sorry we're not there tonight. We just got... We'll be there in another week. So.
Okay, well, it's good to have you on Zoom anyway. So
Thank you.
And with good information. My last question for the moment anyway is, what's your percentage of completion, or what's your projected completion date?
It'll take us about 13 to 15 months to construct once we start. We're thinking of a spring start time, so that'll give you an idea about when we might be able to get the first units online. The residential will lease up before the retail. That's pretty typical. We get our residents in. There's about 40 units in the Clock Tower building and about 70 units in the Colonial building. So in about 13, 15 months after start date, we'll be able to start lease up.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you. I'm all set, Mr. President, for now.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Councilor Delgado.
Thank you, Mr. President, and thank you guys for the presentation. I did want to jump on the timeline question a little bit, so I appreciate that. Are you guys going to be doing, I'm assuming, one building at a time, or are you doing how are you tackling this?
We've been working with the city, and that's part of the music school thing, is for us to make sure we logistically coordinate with them as well. We will do the entire project at once. The buildings are vacant, so it gives it's fairly easy to construct within the space, within the buildings, since we don't have to be sensitive to tenants in those buildings at this time. So demo goes faster, reconstruction goes faster. We're also going to be doing a substantial amount of masonry reconstruction on the exterior of the buildings. So that will also be going on at the same time.
Went off for some reason. Second question I had was, I was excited to hear about the garage piece, because knowing that area and knowing what the amount of folks you're gonna be putting in there, do you have any more information in terms of timeline and cost for the garage? And the reason I ask is I know, we had the Elm Street project done a little while ago, and they had to utilize MGM parking, and I see that this one's gonna be different. So I just wanted to get a little bit more information on the garage.
What I do have is the garage is being managed and handled by the SRA and the Department of Public Works from the City of Springfield side. We are coordinating timelines very closely to coordinate their construction with our construction, their opening timeline with our opening timeline. I do know it should fit just fine on the lot, on the Willow Street lot. The coordination of, again, logistics and schedule will be most important on that, but we are relying on that, and our residents will use that for their parking.
Just to clear up the issue with regards to the garage is not part of the McCaffrey project. It's an independent piece that's being advanced in a partnership with the Springfield Redevelopment Authority and the Springfield Parking Authority. We are advancing into design development right now. Preliminary design, schematic design has all been done. And we anticipate the garage will be open fall of 2027.
Thank you for that. And maybe I might get a little ahead of myself. I heard you say historical tax credits. Outside of that, is this all privately funded, or is there any future expectations for the council on funding for both the garage and the building?
We're coming up with the final cost relative to the construction of the garage. Our preliminary schematic number was $24 million. We have identified sources relative to that. The council should also know that as part of this project, there's a very, very, very substantial infrastructure package that is addressing the infrastructure needs both for Park, Cross, Stockbridge, and Willow. Anybody that's driven through that area of the city can recognize that there's been a lack of investment relative to infrastructure there. And quite frankly, there's a significant population that's living in that neighborhood right now. And as we've indicated to McCaffrey, Stockbridge Court has remained one of the preeminent rental properties in Springfield. And we need to do better in terms of allowing those residents to be able to traverse out to Main Street and utilize the casino and things like that.
And I promise, last question. I think this is exciting. I think this is exciting for downtown, especially for that section across the street that has been pretty vacant and pretty lifeless for the last several years. But I'm excited about the construction jobs too that are going to come. Do you have an amount of construction jobs? And then second to that is, will there be opportunities for local laborers to be involved in that? Was my second question.
On the McCaffrey side, absolutely. We like to have our general contractors reach out to the local subcontractor community. At our peak, there will be approximately 310 to 325 construction workers on the site at our peak. So it is a great opportunity for a lot of small and medium-sized subcontractors to work for RGC.
Thank you, Councilor Delgado. Councilor Santinello.
Got it. Tim, let's see, the 11 Stockbridge, 11 to 21 Stockbridge, wasn't that the old Gunther and Handels?
No, that's owned by the preservation.
Yeah, but years ago, I think it was I think that was the original Gunther and Handels. I toured that 3 months ago. Yes. So I toured that 3 months ago, and it's in tough shape. The roof, the interior, the damage inside. But when I toured it, I was told that there's going to possibly be state monies or federal money, grant money, some kind of money that would be involved in this project. But what concerned me the most was there were people living in there at one time, the homeless. And I'm all for turning this property around because, you have to refurbish the city, but you also have to be keenly aware of the homeless in Springfield. And I was kind of alarmed when I saw that. It made me feel pretty sad. But I think it's a great project. I saw it firsthand, and I think that because of its historical value, this whole project, for me, is a go.
Thank you, Councilor Santinello. Councilor Govan.
Thank you, Mr. President. So some of the questions were asked about affordable housing. I know that there's not a requirement for affordable housing, but would that be something that you might take into consideration? Because we have a lot of young professionals here in the city, you know, that are teachers, young police officers, that might be looking, you know, for a place to live. And if they're starting, you know, right out of college, they might need some affordable options. And I think it's a great project. I think downtown is a place, especially those buildings right there. Um, it's exciting, and I just want to make sure that we have an option for our young people to be able to stay. So I don't know who wants to take that. Miss
Carol, I
Carol.
can speak to that.
Okay, thank you,
You
Mr.
know,
Looney.
yeah, we really focused on the unit mix on this project, and I think that's where you start to see some of the affordability in the more compact units that would be really ideal for the young professional community. And
Mhm.
some projects that I've done in the past, there just weren't enough of those units, and they're really in high demand because they're the most affordable units in the city. The one bedrooms, the studios, the one bedroom plus den, those typically come in at a really affordable price range. And so, you know, we did a market study and we found that that unit type, which is relatively affordable, is a unit type that we want to see often in this project. So we do have a great mix of those unit sizes for young professionals.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to know what I think affordable would be. 'Cause I hear so many stories nowadays about the affordability of housing. Um, so I
And
think
Carol,
that
if
was
you
my
want to speak to any of the ranges in that, I'm not too sure where we are right now. We're still early in construction documents, but um, you know, there we are trying to target some numbers moving forward. I don't know if Carol, if you want to speak to that.
No, I think you answered the question correctly. For, you know, we brought in Noel, who is known for doing market studies on the term not the term affordable is universal. You know, so they came up with this mix that made it the correct mix so that they're not, the only limitation is they're not having to do 2 and 3 bedrooms. We have, you know, more than a third of the units in there in a very competitive market with the other apartment complexes throughout the area. So we feel really good about, and that is our target market, right? The young professional, they're going to use the food and beverage and the retail. So that is the group. We actually talked to a nurse working in the medical facility there, and she started to talk to her, and she's like, "That would be great. That's exactly what I'm looking for." So we are targeting that exact renter.
okay, great. And I think I had a second question, but it eludes me right now. So I'll come back and maybe I'll see you guys next time you come back. Thank you
That's
so much. And
great.
thank you for
Anytime.
making the trip last time and being on Zoom this time. Thank you.
No worries.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilor Govan. Any other councilors with questions for the applicant? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to close the hearing. Councilors, any final comments before we take a vote on the special permit? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call a roll on approval of the special permit.
On approval, Councilor Curran?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Govan?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Walsh?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila? Absent, Councilor Brown? Absent, Councilor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Delgado?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Santinello?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Cliff Bruce?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez?
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton?
Yes, more than sufficient. Permit is approved. Councilor Curran on the reasons, please.
The specific site is an appropriate location for such a use, structure, or condition. The use as developed will not adversely affect the neighborhood. Adequate and appropriate facilities will be provided for the proper operation of the proposed use and will incorporate planning staff analysis into the decision at the basis of the findings.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll on the reasons.
On the reasons, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Brown absent. Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Delgado.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Santinello. Away, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes, more than sufficient. Permit is approved. Congratulations to the applicant. They have a 20-day appeal period, then you can pick up the original decision from the city clerk.
Thank you for your time, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you for
Everyone have
coming
a
back.
Great evening.
Okay, Madam Clerk, items 2 through 5, please.
Item 2 is Eversource Gas Camden Street. 3, Eversource Gas Claremont Street. 4, Derby Dingle Street. And 5 is Lakeside Street.
Mr. Signoli.
Good evening, councilors. Chris Signoli, DPW Director. The 4 petitions in front of you tonight are all Eversource Gas. They are all projects retiring low-pressure infrastructure, low-pressure cast iron infrastructure, installing medium pressure. The item number 2 on Hampden Street. Just want to make sure I find this correctly. Okay, it is, there we have it. On Hampden Street, it is the installation, this is Hampden Street in Indian Orchard. Hampden Street, 2,000 feet of 2-inch pipe. On Berkshire Street, 470 feet of 6-inch pipe. On Chestnut Street, 680 feet of 2-inch pipe. And on Myrtle Street, 680 feet of 2-inch pipe. Claremont Street, it is the same thing, replacing low pressure to medium pressure. It is 780 feet worth of 4-inch pipe on Orange Street and 2-inch on Claremont Street. Item number 4 is Derby Dingle. It is 2 sections of work. It is the replacement of a 8-inch pipe on Springfield Street for 2,000 feet. And the replacement of 1,145 feet of 2-inch pipe on Derby Dingle. And the last one being Lakeside Street, which is off of Alden Street. And it is on Lakeside Street, 1,200 feet of pipe. Alden Street is 900, Highland is 600, Elsie, 500 feet, Crest 600, Skylar 400, and Esther is 300 feet, all on the replacement of new lines on those street. And if you have any questions on the particulars, a representative from Eversource is here this evening.
Okay, any comments or questions from the council on the items for Eversource Gas? Okay, seeing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll. I want to acknowledge there's a resident of Derby Dingle here tonight who doesn't wish to testify. Okay, Madam Clerk, you can call. You can.
On approval, on approval, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila absent. Counselor Brown absent. Counselor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Delgado.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Santinello. Away, Counselor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes, more than sufficient. Petitions are approved.
Thank you, councilors.
Items number 6 through 8, Madam Clerk.
Items 6 through 8 are grants. FY26 library cash donation in the amount of $15. Burn JAG grant, no match required, in the amount of $28,000, and a municipal road safety grant, no match required, in the amount of $65,000.
Okay, councilors, these are below our threshold. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
On acceptance, Counselor Curran.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Allen.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Davila, absent. Counselor Brown, absent. Counselor Whitfield?
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Delgado. Away, Counselor Santinello. Away, Counselor Cliff Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Counselor Fenton.
Yes, more than sufficient. Grants are accepted. Item number 9, Madam Clerk.
Item 9 is amendment. Number 1 is order of taking for X improvement project.
Mr. Signoli.
Good evening, councilors. As some of you remember, a couple weeks ago, I was in front of you. We had to make a modification to the traffic control agreement at the X. There has been design changes that are occurring at the intersection of Belmont and Commonwealth Avenue as part of the project. Originally, there was going to be a small roundabout at that location. That has gone away. So therefore, the land takings that were required as part of CVS, the parcels there in TD Bank, have now gone away. So what we are asking for tonight is modification of the original agreement. And we originally had damages in the amount of $569,000. It has been reduced because we are not taking that land at this point, reduced by $93,000. The people representing both TD Bank and the CVS site are in favor of the plan revision, so they are happy with it. So this just means that we get to do a revision of the plans that have been submitted to Mass DOT, obviously, and then get submitted to the Registry of Deeds.
Thank you, Mr. Signoli. Any questions for him? Councilor Allen?
Thanks, Mr. President. Yeah, thanks, Chris. I'm just wondering about, I still hear people say there's a roundabout.
There's no roundabout.
Right, so has that been fully communicated to people?
Virtually every meeting I go to and we talk about the X, I start off by saying there is no, people think that there was going to be one in the middle of the X. And I always try to start off by saying, no, there is not one there. Initially, there was going to be 2 smaller ones on side streets. Neither one of those are there anymore.
So they're all gone?
All gone, yeah.
And the communication of that plus this new change, which is not as big as it was before, right. How did that get communicated to Forest Park citizens and stuff?
This work actually was started almost a year ago with that, and we've had to go through all the approvals through Mass DOT for the last 5 or 6 months, and I know I've been to the Civic Association a few times to talk about it.
So
yeah, so it's everybody's been made aware of it. Yes.
Victor's not here tonight.
Yep.
And that's his ward, so.
Yeah, so I think I was there most recently as last Monday night, as a matter of fact.
Excellent, great, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Allen. Any other councilors? Councilor Govan?
Mr. President?
Is that Councilor Davila?
Yes, sir. I got kicked out.
Okay, Councilor
If I could
Davila?
get recognized. Could I be recognized, sir?
Yes.
Counselor Davila.
Present. Thank you. I yield to Councilor Govan.
Councilor Govan?
Thank you, Councilor Davila. Thank you, Mr. President. Chris, what's the rationale for not having the roundabout? If there's any.
The idea, we're making some changes with regard to some one-ways and directions of some of the streets. And initially, it was thought that if we put a roundabout in there, right now, people, if you're aware of the location there, people cut through the side streets and then cut through Commonwealth Avenue. When we make the changes at the X, people won't need to do that anymore. So we were a little nervous initially that, having the roundabout there would cause people to kind of get stuck in there and not be able to get out. And initially, the people from CVS and TD Bank were in support of what we were proposing there, but the impacts to their properties were just too big. So we actually, like I said, a little bit over a year ago, started getting into the review of this. So the idea was that at that point was that vehicles would be able to turn around and get out, but the amount of vehicles that are going to be in there are going to be next to nothing. Vehicles now make those turns there, so I'm not nervous about vehicles getting in there and not being able to get out as we initially thought.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Govan. Councilor Davila?
Thank you, Mr. President. My apologies. I got kicked out of the meeting as apparently there's an issue with Zoom worldwide today. Chris, thank you for your presentation. I just want to be clear. So we are not going to be having the roundabout at Commonwealth Avenue and Belmont Avenue?
Could you repeat that, Councilor Davila?
Sure.
Councilor Edwards told me to say yes. I had a difficult time hearing you, Councilor, but from what I got is, yeah, there is no roundabout in the project.
Yeah, oh, just, okay, because I know it's gone back and forth a couple of times.
Correct.
Okay, so everything else remains the same, excuse me, as previously discussed.
Correct. Everything else remaining exactly the same.
Okay, and I know you were talking about some financial damages awards, and I couldn't quite hear. There was a big one of like 593. Can you just give me a quick overview on that again, please?
Yes, when we did the damages last year, at that point we looked like we were going to be taking property from the CVS parcels and from the TD Bank parcels. With this change, we no longer need to do that. Okay. So the total damages on the entire project that we were paying out has been reduced by $93,000, and it's basically to those parcels, since we're not taking them anymore and they're remaining in the ownership of the group that owns the CVS parcel and the group that owns the TD Bank parcel.
Right. And Chris, my last question is to be clear. I know you and I spoke offline about the work that is being there. It's being done there now, and as we all know, traffic's getting heavy. We talked about there's going to be minimal work being done during the bright nights. Can you define minimal work, and what would that look like?
Correct. They're going to be working during the day. We at DPW set up all of the materials for bright nights, all the cones, barrels, barricades, and we start that at 3:30. So they're going to be, when we go to set that up, they will be out of our way. We've already been through that with the state and the contractor.
Very well. All right. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor Davila. Any other councilors? Okay, seeing none. Madam Clerk, please call the roll on approval.
On approval, Councilor Kern.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Allen. Away, Councilor Govan.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Walsh.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Edwards.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Davila.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Brown, absent. Councilor Whitfield.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Delgado.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Santinello. Away, Councilor Click Bruce.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Perez.
Yes.
Yes, Councilor Fenton.
Yes. Madam Clerk, can you go back to Councilor Allen?
Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
More than sufficient. Order is approved.
Thank you, councilors.
Any more business, Madam Clerk?
There's none.
Okay, council will be adjourned. Our next meeting, councilors, is a week from tonight, October 27th. Please note that beforehand, there's going to be a proclamation for neighborhood councils, and Councilor Whitfield and I are sponsoring a little pizza reception. I think it's going to start, we'll send an email around, but I think it'll probably start around 6 o'clock. Okay, have a good night, and council is adjourned.
Thank you.